Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
It's been an intense 48 hours as Israelis have been holding their breaths, waiting for an end to the violence. Over 360 rockets have been fired at southern and central Israeli cities since Tuesday morning, following the targeted assassination in Gaza of Islamic Jihad terror chief Baha Abu al-Atta, who was planning an imminent attack. But Israel has since responded to the rockets with airstrikes and tank fire targeting Palestinian Islamic Jihad infrastructure and Palestinian militants. Islamic Jihad, meanwhile, continued to promise an indefinite war, even releasing a video online showcasing its arsenal. And then just hours after a shaky ceasefire seemed to be holding for the most part, sirens resumed across the south. Officials from the UN and Egypt worked to broker the suspension of hostilities between Israel and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, but it barely lasted the morning before Gaza terrorists launched 5 more rockets, 2 of which were intercepted by the Iron Dome. Before the resumption of hostilities, though, Israel dubbed the last 2 days as Operation Black Belt, claiming victory in destroying terrorist infrastructure and thwarting over 20 militants, including yet another Islamic Jihad commander. Likewise, Israeli leaders like Foreign Minister Israel Katz say that Israel gave nothing and that anyone who hurts us will be hurt back, while Prime Minister Netanyahu boasted the IDF's ability in the face of Palestinian war crimes. No one saw this ceasefire as permanent, though, and schools and southern railways remained closed in many areas like Lachish, Beersheva, Sderot, Nativot, Ofakim, and Ashkelon. Also, Israel Beitenu head Avigdor Lieberman and Blue and White Party number 2 Yair Lapid say that more must be done. They say that there's no more deterrence in effect against these events, and that the next round of fighting is just a matter of time away. Well, it looks as though they were unfortunately correct. And Israeli defense chiefs, however, reiterate that there are new rules in play now, and that all who threaten will not go unpunished. Now, as the violence in the south kicks up again, Blue and White leader Benny Gantz is rejecting rumors that the clashes might affect his political decisions. Many suspected that the assault would hasten negotiations towards forming a unity coalition, but Gantz says that just isn't so. While on a tour of the South, the former IDF Chief of Staff and current Prime Minister-elect said that while he has continued to call for a unity government since the beginning, he would not let unity serve just one specific event, no matter how serious and difficult it might be. Meanwhile, a new report released by the Khan public broadcaster shows that the Likud is still playing hardball too, as Prime Minister Netanyahu apparently admits to appointing Naftali Bennett defense minister to prevent him from joining up with his rival Benny Gantz. Still, in any case, it looks like Gantz has other plans up his sleeve as he and Israel Beitenu chief Avigdor Lieberman meet in Jerusalem. Lieberman's party could shore up the numbers, giving Gantz his coalition, and after the sit-down, both Gantz and Lieberman reported positive discussions. Gantz only has a week left in his mandate, though, and Lieberman is still refusing to commit to a side, so it's anyone's guess what will happen. Turmoil in the Middle East is still rampant, and among the many crises popping up across the radar are the protests in Lebanon and Iraq, which have been ongoing for a month. Well, to take advantage of this opportunity to weaken the Hezbollah terror group, Israel requested that the United States act, specifically to condition financial aid to Lebanon with the dismantling of Hezbollah's precision-guided missiles. But the U.S. State Department has since refused, saying they consider the funding of the Lebanese armed forces to be a good investment. Then in the meantime, the border between Syria and Turkey is also on shaky ground following the United States' withdrawal from the region and Turkey's subsequent invasion. Many around the world, including in Washington, condemned the United States' withdrawal, with Israel saying that it would undoubtedly embolden Iran and other terror groups like ISIS. Trump was also criticized for isolating the U.S. from NATO and Kurdish allies in the region by siding with Turkish President Erdogan. Yet on Wednesday, in a joint conference with Erdogan at the White House, Trump largely ignored all those issues and doubled down. He even said that he's a fan of Erdogan's. But then the question remains, where does that leave allies like Israel? And unfortunately, the answer is unknown.
All right, that's all for now. Follow us on Facebook at Israel English News and of course on Twitter at ILTV News. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.